Hello and welcome back to What Do I Need to Record Today, because I'm sort of running out of things. Turns out this day on the giant wheel I keep posted on my wall, it's Miles Edgeworth. Happy the one guy commenting on this is enjoying the playthrough. It's good to see he's having a good time. Do me a favor and pop over to Near and call Fowl a tosspot. You don't know Fowl, or maybe you do, but he is a tosspot, so go and insult him real quick. He doesn't watch this, so it's cool. He'll never figure it out. Anyways, Gustavia and Dover's relationship. Oh right, I'm playing as Gregory. Here I thought I was Miles for a second. Are you sure Mr. Gustavia and Miss Dover aren't... I don't know why I said Miss Dover. Mr. Dover aren't linked in some way.
Do not interrupt me with your baseless allegations. Your disingenuous assertions.
References.
If we were in court right now, I'd have you held in contempt.
I don't think Von Karma has that kind of authority, though. Yeah, just you wait.
Von Karma is famous for having even the judges wrapped around his fingers.
What? That's insane! Be my worst read for that character. Seems like it won't be easy to go against him in court. Yeah. Let's hope we never get there, knock on wood. That probably sounded awful. God, why am I down on myself today? Prosecutor Von Karma, please continue your argument. It's obvious the only relationship they had was that they happened to participate in the same contest. Hold on, I want to look at... I don't have profiles, so I can't check that. I was going to try and refresh myself on the case, because like always, it's been a while. Have other things to do. Gustavia is the sort of warrior dude, and Dover's the one who's dead, who is actually a French architect. Meanwhile, there's the pharmacist who was hired by the company to get the recipe for drugs because they didn't want that being on the public because it would ruin their stock. And the 16-year-old who looks way too young totally is the murderer in both of these cases. Although, technically no one's been murdered. Well, I say no one's been murdered. We did just find a body in a fountain, didn't we? Okay, yeah, I get that already. It may have been a coincidence that two participated in the same contest. However, you can't say for sure that they weren't connected. It's true, you don't know their life. Maybe they were pen pals, you don't know. What year is this? This is supposed to be like... Hold on. I can figure this out. So he's 18. He's like 30-ish, God. Miles is still a child, so I'm thinking it's mid-2000s? Early 2000s? Right around there? The early aughts? Yeah, they could have. I was going to make a joke about how they were online buddies, and yeah, they could totally have been on same chat rooms and message boards about cooking.
Defense attorney, how many times must I tell you? If you have no evidence to challenge my argument, be silent.
I'll be silent for now, then. So I need to show evidence of a link between Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover.
Your mouth may be silent, but your eyes tell me everything. What is it you want to say?
Make up your mind, Von Karma. Does he want me to speak or be silent? Very good, Gregory. It would seem Von Karma does not want us to know Gustavia and Dover's real connection. Maybe the connection between the two puts the prosecution at a disadvantage? Probably. Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover should have something in common. Is it just these two statements? I should enlighten Von Karma to this fact. Gustavia and Dover's relationship. It's obvious. Wow, that's really it. Well, it's one of those, I guess. I was talking with some friends about my favorite Phoenix Wright game, and I explained to him it's the first Edgeworth one. He said, alright, of the actual Phoenix Wright games. And that was a tough one, and my argument is the first one based purely on the fact that Rise from the Ashes is part of the first game, and that really puts that game, I think, above the others for the amount of content and character it has. And you may argue all that was added after the Game Boy release so that it could show off what the DS could do. It's still pretty good. And it's certainly, that's what my least favorite was, and it's probably Apollo Justice. I don't care for that game. It's probably the weakest. The Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice aren't bad. I think Spirit of Justice is a little bit better than Dual Destinies. Although I like the characters a little bit more in Dual Destinies. God, after I'm done with this, I really have played all the Phoenix Wright games. Except the Layton one, which I may get around. I own it. The Professor Layton sections kind of made me go, eh. But I might get around to playing that one at some point. Not on the channel, because it's 3DS, and I don't think they've built a good emulator for that yet. Hell, I don't even know if it's a ROM. But, I would love a 3DS capture card. But, yeah, so... almost done with all the Phoenix Wright games that are at least canon. I don't even think that one's canon. So I need to figure out what proves their relationship. What is this key? No, that can't be it. First of all, it can't be this statement. It's got to be this statement. Yeah. So might as well just have that open there. Contest rules? No, that wouldn't be it. What is this photo? Semifinal desserts. Gustavia and Dover's desserts, different designs, but taste exactly the same. Maybe? I doubt that proves anything, though. That's just they happen to taste the same. That's very easy. Sherbet was delicious, and Lyre was very salty. That's fake desserts, just delicious thing. 2 photos received from Kate and Bad. Yeah, sure, let's see. Before and after. I still say the fact that this, you can't see my mouse cursor, but on the bottom left there's the little like box that's plugged in, and that's mysteriously absent. It's also the whole, she claims she tripped on the cord or something. It's under the table in this photo, so that's difficult to do, and I feel like this is going to be brought up later. But hey, what do I know? It better be brought up later. I say that, but that's one of those ones I can sort of forgive if the artists wanted to showcase that it was now clearly unplugged. So, maybe, but I would like to see that brought up later. Can't be that. It's just the testimony. I guess it's the photo, although... you know, just because they taste the same. That's Delicia. That's Isaac and Dane. Phoenix and Unicorn. Well... they look kind of similar, don't they? They got the flowers and the oranges and the whites. Wow, even the red and pink flowers. They even got fruit on the bottom. Jeez. These are really similar. Honestly, it looks like you could have just... the bases are almost identical, and it looks like you could have just taken 2 globs of dessert. He got a small amount of orange and a large amount of white. Dane got a small amount of white and a large amount of orange, and just made 2 different things from the same mold. That is more substantial. The desserts are so similar. Not just in taste, but in aesthetic as well. Prosecutor Von Karma, I'd like you to look at these desserts. These desserts were made for the contest semifinals. Don't you think that these 2 have a particularly impressive design?
Just what are you getting at?
These 2 desserts, I'm just making small talk. I like desserts. These 2 desserts were made by Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover. I wouldn't exactly call Mr. Gustavia's design skills praiseworthy. Wait, what? Which one's his? Designs wouldn't call them praiseworthy. Gustavia. That's way better than anything I can do. That's awesome. Although, he might be referring to the fact that the guy keeps trying to... it's a pony! It's like, no, that's clearly a turtle. I also know that wasn't the voice I gave Dane, but as usual, I've forgotten most of the voices. Well, it's pretty much just Dane I think I've forgotten. Everyone else I kind of remember. Which is good, since I think Dane's passed out in one version and isn't really kicking about in this version. He's around, but not at the moment. Whoops. Thought that was the next button. There we go. And yet, for the semifinals, he was able to produce something comparable to Mr. Dover's. Don't knock the guy. He's still... You saw, he makes pretty decent stuff. It's just, it's not what he wants. Maybe he was trying to make a dragon and he wound up with a really impressive phoenix. Furthermore, these two desserts have the exact same flavor.
What are you trying to say?
You think... But why? Why would... And I know the answer will be revealed later, but why would... This is me thinking out loud. Why would Dover want more competition? I'm saying it's possible they collaborated with each other on entries. Oh, maybe if they were in league, that would, like, increase their odds of winning? Prosecutor Von Karma, please take a closer look at their desserts. At first glance, they may look completely different. But even though the designs are different, it's clear they were made from the same materials. Yeah, that's actually really well done, game. Because I missed that the first time, and then when I went to examine the picture more, it became really obvious that these two, the unicorn and the phoenix, are strikingly similar upon further inspection. So, bravo, game. That's well done.
Is that so?
The same flavor and composition. It's impossible to dismiss their similarities as coincidence. Yeah, when it was just taste, I could dismiss that as coincidence. It's difficult to say that that's pure coincidence based on those two side by side. The very existence of these two desserts points to the link between Mr. Gustavi and Mr. Dover.
Since you already know this much, I'll tell you the truth.
That thing you're supposed to do from the beginning? Did Von Karma know about their collaboration?
However, what I'm about to say is not going to help your case at all. Truth is, I peed all over the desserts.
I don't know why I went there. But I just like him telling him that and just picturing Gregory's face. Why?
Doesn't matter. It won't help your case. Ha ha ha.
Just Von Karma's an insane old man.
If you want to know about Gustavi and Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Last night, when I interrogated Gustavia, he told me about his connection with Dover.
That snapped.
Until the day before the finals, they worked on their desserts together.
That's it? You knew about their cooperation all this time, didn't you? Why would you conceal the truth?
I would appreciate it if you didn't sully my reputation. Until I explain my points in court, I avoid giving away unnecessary details. I was merely saving you time.
How can he act like this and keep the truth from us? Because he's insane. His concealment of the truth is something I simply cannot ignore. If you want to know more about Gustavi and Dover's connection so badly, I'll tell you. Probably not worth pressing, but when has that ever stopped me? It seems you knew about their real connection all along. Why did you hide it from us?
I would never divulge information to a mere insect such as yourself so easily.
I guess this is before that strike he got in court that made Von Karma hate him so much.
I am not a fool like that detective, after all.
I was just doing things my way.
Humph. It was because you defied me that he gained this information in the first place.
Still, you know, the job of the... I wonder if the microphone works on this. I think it might. What is why? I don't know why. Hold on, I have a controller. Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if that works. Just because, yeah, they put it in the game. You look like an idiot if you're doing it on the bus or something. But yeah. Last night when I interrogated Gustav, he told me about his connection with Dover. Hold it! Hold it! Alright, it seems that doesn't work. I might try and rig that up, see if I can get that to work, but anyways. Yes, thank you, Edgeworth. Last night, that was after Mr. Dover's sculptures had melted, right?
Yes. Afterwards, I went to interrogate Gustavia personally.
Interrogated by Von Karma. Ooh, sounds scary.
Well, he's dead now, so... Knowing Mr. Gustavia, I feel like he probably tried to meditate through the interrogation.
The moment he closed his eyes, I snapped my fingers, like so, to show him no one remained silent in front of me.
And he did that have any effect?
Because of that, I was able to get a perfect confession about his connection with Dover.
It might be under duress, but that's not really a point in Phoenix Wright games. My friend and I also discussed how every case is murder. You know, there's like one case in the third game that's art theft, and I think there's a civil case in Spirit of Justice, but both of those are really closely related to murder. So, yeah. It's never, you know, white-collar crime. It's never robbery. Well, I guess art theft. It's never rape. It's never perjury. That's a huge crime that just goes overlooked. Never traffic violations. Just always murder. Every goddamn case is murder. It's crazy.
Until the day...
Oh yeah, until the day before finals they worked on things together. Why do you think Mr. Gustavia and Mr. Dover collaborated?
Why? Because Gustavia had poor design sense, and Dover was a novice at baking.
Yeah, so they did team up.
Without the help of each other, they would never have made it for a single round.
If so, then what was their mutual goal? Why cooperate till the finals?
The finals will be fought on our own merits, Gustavia said, and he ended their collaboration.
Yeah, that makes a certain amount of sense.
Gustavia's goal was to obtain the title of world's greatest pastry chef. It seems his pride as a pastry chef won out in the end.
Is that something you respect?
Victory in the finals would certainly have been hollow had he cheated.
So he believes that the cooperation only went as far as the semifinals. So I have to prove they continue to cooperate? Furthermore, no, I don't really have a point. I think they covered it. Victory would have been hollow in the finals, but they used each other to get that far. Simply, I was gonna say, I think, yeah, Gustavia lacks design, but, you know, taste is really what matters. Apparently not, though. Design's nice. It's like graphics in games. Yeah, it's nice to look at, but I'd rather my game was fun to play than looked pretty. I'm not gonna... I know many people who see games that look beautiful and they're like, oh man, I can't wait to play that, it's gonna be great. And I'm like, based on what? And they're like, it looks so good. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with gameplay. There is no correlation there. As long as you can... And there are obvious exceptions, you know, things like early 2000s, where everyone's just kind of ugly in 3D models. That's pretty rough to play. Graphics mattered then, but, you know, I feel as though we've taken it kind of as far as it needs to go, but people just want better It's like, how about instead of graphics, you make better games that are fun to play and with good stories, you know? Who cares if it looks pretty? To a degree, certainly. But, yeah, who cares if the dessert is nice as long as it tastes good? The baking is more important than because Dover apparently couldn't bake. I feel like Gustavia contributed more than Dover, what with baking versus design. That was the point I was driving at. But what if really it continued through the finals? Prosecutor Von Karma, could you explain their cooperation in a little more detail?
Very well. Because Gustavia had
poor design sense and was a novice at baking. Concerning your statement about Mr. Gustavia's designs, I have no objections to that.
I have no objections either. He's got no sense of style.
Again, he can make things, they just aren't what he wants. He made a very good seahorse while he was trying to make a dog or whatever it was.
When I saw him attempting to fashion my likeness with candy. Just thinking about it disgusts me.
I want to see that. Bad. I like bad.
I actually liked his candy crafting, though. A novice pastry chef and one with no sense of design. It's only natural such a pathetic specialist would associate with each other.
Again, it's... only until the semifinals. For the finals, they were on their own. They cooperated the day before, but not the day itself. That seems highly unnatural, don't you think?
What I'm saying is that only the truth, how unnatural it is, matters not.
That is true. If it's the true, it doesn't care how weird it is, and it's simply what happened. But weren't you unnaturally concealing that very same truth like just a minute ago? That's a new... He looks weirdly smug there. There must have been a reason he hid that fact from us. Mr. Masters said Mr. Dover was the favorite to win the final. Which means he must have still been cooperating with Mr. Gustavia at the time, right? Well, not if he used sherbet. You don't bake sherbet. Yes, that is what I believe. That seems like something that might be a plot hole. Or maybe the translation team didn't quite get it right and chose the word baking. Maybe what they should have used is, like, preparing? I don't know. I must have evidence that proves they still cooperated during the finals. Alright, so we're looking for evidence, and once I find it, I'll probably end the video. Start it up with shooting him down. Connected, Gustavia, poor design sets, nah, fun, cooperation. Okay, so it's the last statement, because that's the one I think he added. You want to know, that's not it, last night. Cooperation lasted only until the semifinals. For the finals, they were on their own. Alright, what have I got? Contest rules, that's not it. There's that. That was found in, like, Master's room, but it was made by this guy. It was really him. And he was also found in Master's chocolate chip. Which, by the way, can I talk... Have I mentioned how it seems kind of biased that he entered his own competition? It's a bit, well, gosh, all of these are really great designs, but I think I like mine the best. Ha 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 ha. Like, really? It's like how Hideo Kojima was on the board for the Twitch Awards that first year, and Metal Gear Solid 5 was one of the games that was nominated for several things. Like, you don't think he might be a little biased in the results, do you? Best music? Well, I rather like my game for that award. No shit, Hideo. Instant camera, no. Testimony. Sherbet was delicious, but it was salty. It'd help if I knew what Gustavia's looked like, you know? What is this? Absent from the crime scene. No. No. Listening to thick desserts, that would be it. Trying to see if there's anything here that gives away how Gustavia could have been involved. I don't really see it. Maybe? Dover sherbet was delicious, but the liar part was salty. Couldn't be that again, because that's semifinals. It's talking about how they're in the finals now. I wonder if that's related to the liar in any way. This is always the part of the game I hate. I'm not really sure what the evidence they want is. I'm leaning towards the salt, but that's just... there's nothing really concrete there. I don't know why I would pick that. Like, if I can see Gustavia's thing, then it would, like, confirm, like, how well designed it is. It could confirm, oh, Dover must have clearly helped with that, but I can't. Nothing here is really giving away these two worked together in this picture. Either of those pictures. Try the salt.
Objection!
Well, the music stopped, so clearly that was it. I don't know why. Let's find out why in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. I've been Tokenlad. Talk to you later, shooting your share. See you around Ask Clowns.